Welcome to the Mindful Living YouTube channel, and thank you for joining me for the Sun Salutation Flow, Surya Namaskar A. Let's begin in a seated position, comfortable, easy seat, and we'll bring one hand to the heart and one hand to the stomach, just to start to drop into the space around us, to drop into our body, to tune into our breath, and arrive here in the present moment, orienting ourselves in time and space, sky above us, earth below. Start by taking a long, deep inhale through the nose. Allow the air to flow up and into the chest. Feel the shoulder blades draw down the back. The crown of the head lifts up towards the sky, and on an exhale, your chest softens, air flows into the belly, and your whole body relaxes. And we'll start to match the length of the inhalation with the length of the exhalation. So inhaling for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Continuing to breathe like this, allowing the breath to be the anchor for your practice. And anytime your mind starts to wander, just gently drawing the attention of the mind back to this present moment, training our minds to be okay with stillness, to be able to find stillness in the midst of movement, whether internal or external. Of meditation, we'll start by bringing the energy of the sun into our awareness and imagining that there is a golden light at the center of our heart space. And anytime we inhale, this light in the heart space expands, and every time we exhale, this light in the heart space contracts. And you see this expansion and contraction of light right at the center of your heart. And you're matching this expansion and contraction with each breath, with each inhale, and with each exhale. Tapping into the energy of life and warmth and growth, and into this universal representation of spirituality, of positivity, of clarity. And at your own pace, placing the hands atop the knees, palms facing up to receive, palms facing down to ground. Take a few moments to observe the effects of practice, of breath awareness. And we'll start to invite movement into our body, finding child's pose. Big toes touch, knees are spread wide, almost mats width distance apart. We'll walk our hands forward towards the top of the mat, dropping our chest towards the ground, pushing through the fingertips to help sink the hips towards the heels, and at the same time we're reaching the fingertips towards the top of the mat. So we have this push-pull tension going on in the body as we just gently start to wake it up. Again, utilizing your breath as a way to connect with your body and to connect the flow of movement with the flow of breath. Let's thread the needle, bringing your left arm underneath your right armpit, directly in line with the left shoulder. The left fingertips are palm facing up. Can draw your right hand closer to your face and start to push into that right hand to help open through the left shoulder to help roll onto that left side more deeply. Moving through center, let's thread the needle on the other side, bringing the right arm underneath the left armpit. Right fingertips are directly in line with the right shoulder, palm facing up. And you're still pushing through those left fingertips through the left palm, sinking the hips towards the heels, but you're also rolling onto that right shoulder, and you can bring the left hand down to the face if you would like to deepen the expression of the pose by gently pushing in to the left hand to help roll more onto the right shoulder. Take a deep breath here, breathe into the back side of the body, breathe into the shoulder blades. Beautiful, and come back through center. Walk your hands to the top of the mat and come onto the fingertips. Again, dropping your chest towards the mat. High on the fingertips here. Still pushing through those fingertips to help sink the hips towards the heels. And slowly we'll start to roll up through our fingertips into tabletop, into cat position. So we're rounding through the spine, pushing the ground away, still high on the fingertips here. Make sure the shoulders are stacked over the wrists, and we're just gonna round through the spine and hold. Again, breathing in to the back side of the body. On an inhale, drop the belly and look forward for cow pose. Squeezing the shoulder blades together and coming down onto the palms. And we'll flow through this about 3 to 5 more times, depending on the flow of your practice, depending on your speeding. Just moving through that sequence, through cat pose, down to child's, back through cow position, through cat, rounding the spine, sinking the hips towards the heels, allowing the motion to be fluid, imagining that each time you do it, it's for the first time. Asking what's different this time. What can I learn? Last time we'll flow through this. And the next time you come through cow pose and then round through the spine for cat pose, hold. Tuck your toes and lift your hips for downward facing dog, creating this upside down V shape with our body. Start to walk your dog out, dropping one heel to the mat and then the other, taking a big bend in the bent leg, really exaggerating the movement, hugging the belly button to the spine, hollowing out through the stomach. Dropping the chest towards the mat, drop the right heel, switch sides and left and hold. Take a moment to observe if one side is tighter than the other, and then drop both heels to the ground, dropping the chest towards the mat. And start to bend the knees, drop them to the mat, sink the hips for child's pose. We'll flow once more, inhaling, come through tabletop, tuck the toes. Exhale, lift the hips to the sky for downward facing dog, externally rotating the shoulder blades. Drop the knees, coming through child's pose. Coming through tabletop, tuck the toes. Exhale for downward facing dog. Drop the knees, sink the hips. Inhale, come forward through tabletop, tuck the toes, lift the hips on your exhale. Inhale, come high on the toes, drop the knees, sink the hips for child's. Inhale, rise through tabletop, tuck the toes, exhale, downward facing dog. We'll flow through this one more time, matching breath with each movement. And imagining that bright light at the center of our heart space with each inhalation, and with each exhalation, that expansion and that contraction. From downward facing dog, We'll come high on the toes, step walk or jump to the top of the mat for a forward fold. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, drop the crown of the head towards the mat. Grab opposite elbows. Allow your torso to hang heavy for just a moment. And really dropping the crown of the head towards the ground. Release the arms. Inhale to a flat back. Fold forward. Slowly start to roll up to standing. Sweep the arms towards the sky. Draw them through heart center. And inhale once more, sweep the arms to the sky. Exhale, fold forward, bend the knees, drop the torso towards the ground, crown of the head towards the ground. Inhale to a flat back. Plant the palms, step back into high plank. Exhale into downward facing dog. Bring the feet mats width distance apart, walk the hands a couple of inches, drop the chest towards the mat, and with the left hand, reach around and grab the right ankle. And with the left hand, you're pulling yourself towards that right leg, looking underneath the right armpit. Come back to center and switch sides. Right hand reaches around and grabs that left leg, either the knee, the shin, or the ankle, and you're drawing yourself down with the right hand towards the left leg, looking underneath the left shoulder. And come back to a regular downward dog. Walk the hands out and the feet in. Inhale, come high on the toes, bend the knees, step walk or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Interlace the fingertips and bring them to the base of the spine, using your arms as a weight, drawing the crown of your head towards the ground, creating space in the vertebrae and the spine. Start to release the hands and inhale to a flat back, reaching the crown of the head forward, tailbone towards the back of the room, and fold over the thighs. Start to roll up one vertebrae at a time to standing, gently waking up the body. Arms sweep up towards the ceiling, reach for the sky. Finding a side body stretch with the right hand, grabbing the left wrist and contracting the chest and the rib cage and squeezing the shoulder blades together. Biceps are next to the ears. Inhale, come back through center and fold over to the left side with the left hand reaching and grabbing the right wrist and creating space from the right fingertips all the way down to the edge of the foot. Come back to center and slowly fold forward, dropping the crown of the head towards the ground. Inhale to a flat back. Lengthen through the spine. Exhale, plant the palms, step back. Downward facing dog. Drop the chest towards the mat. And for the last variation of downward dog, we'll gently bend the knees, tap them on the ground, and exhale for down dog. Again, matching breath with movement. Drop the knees on an inhale. Exhale, down dog. Tap the knees to the ground. Hold for a second and exhale, down dog. Drop the heels to the mat. Bend the knees. Tap. Exhale, lift. Bend the knees. Tap. Inhale. Exhale. Extend the legs long. And tap. And exhale. This time coming high on the toes, bending the knees, stepping, walking or jumping to the top of the mat. Inhale to a flat back. Start to straighten the legs out. Exhale, fold forward. If you still need that micro bend, feeling free to keep it there. Drawing your torso down towards the ground. Slowly start to roll up. Head and neck come up last. Open through the chest and reach the arms towards the ceiling, drawing them through heart center on your exhale. And interlace the hands at the base of your spine. Lengthen the arms. Start to squeeze the shoulder blades together and down the back. Chin is still slightly tucked to the chest, so we're not crunching into the back of the neck, but you're opening from shoulder to shoulder, taking a deep breath into the chest. Allow it to expand and allow your body to soften on your exhale. Dropping head from side to side. Dropping the left ear to the shoulder and then the right. And switching back and forth a couple of times. Come back through center and start to fold forward, dropping the torso towards the ground, lifting the hands towards the ceiling, otherwise keeping them at the base of your spine if your shoulders are tight. If you have open shoulders, they can go even more directly over your head. Release the hands, inhale to a flat back, plant the palms, step back for a high plank, and exhale into downward facing dog. Adjusting if you need to, feet or hips width distance apart. Inhale, come high on the toes and drop the heels to the right side of the mat, taking a big bend in the right knee to stretch from the outside of the left foot all the way to the fingertips of the left hand. Inhale, come back through center, drop the heels to the left side of the mat, taking a big bend in the left knee, breathing into the right side body from fingertip to foot. Good, really expanding through the right side body. Come back through center. Inhale, come high on the toes. Bend the knees, step, walk, or jump to the top of the mat. Last time here, inhale to a flat back and fold forward. Root to rise, arms sweep up to the sky. Rib cage and chest contracted, hands come through heart center. Inhale, sweep those arms up to the sky. Exhale, fold forward, grabbing the back of the ankle. Inhale to a flat back, plant the palms, step back into high plank, and exhale into downward facing dog. And coming high onto the toes here, dropping the heels. Coming high onto the toes, dropping the heels. Again, lifting and lowering. Lifting and lowering the heels. Lifting and lowering a couple more times. Waking up the thighs and the hamstrings a little bit more. Start to walk your hands back towards your legs this time. Still high on the toes. We're in a forward fold. You're going to grab opposite elbows and you're going to test your balance here. Seeing if you can stay high on the toes. Heels are lifted while you're in this forward fold. And exhale, drop the heels. We're still folded forward. Thigh and chest are making contact. This is the last time we'll come to standing, and still having the image of the light at the heart space expanding and contracting with each breath. Let's roll up into standing. Slowly, head and neck come up last, arms sweep up towards the sky, hands come through heart center. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, fold forward, salute the sun. Drop your head towards the ground, straighten the legs. Inhale, walk the hands out. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last one here. Feel free to continue practicing. You can drop the knees and come into child's pose if you're done. Otherwise, using this practice as a warm-up and feeling free to continue on with your practice. Hoping wherever you are, it's a beautiful day, and make sure to thank yourself for taking the time to move your body and connect with your breath. Sending love.